Scene script. Have you ever wondered how your brain learns new things and remembers them? Let's dive into the theory of connectionism to get some answers. Picture your brain like a bustling city, with roads and highways that help you navigate your thoughts and memories. In this cityscape, the buildings are your brain cells or neurons, and the roads are the connections between them. Every time you learn something new, it's like constructing a new road between two buildings. Now imagine you drive on this new road every day. Over time, the road becomes wider, smoother, and easier to navigate. That's exactly what happens in your brain when you practice something. The more often you repeat it, the stronger the connections between your neurons become. This is the essence of the theory of connectionism. It's not just about learning, but about strengthening those neuron highways in your brain through repetition. So in essence, the theory of connectionism tells us that practice makes perfect, or in this case, makes connections. Now imagine you're trying to learn a new skill, but you're just not in the mood for it. Do you think you'll be successful? This brings us to the Law of Readiness. This principle might seem pretty straightforward, but it's a critical pillar in the grand structure of learning. The Law of Readiness essentially says that for effective learning to happen, you must be ready to learn. It's like trying to open a locked door without a key. You won't get far, right? If you're trying to force your mind to learn something it's not prepared for, it can lead to frustration and a lack of progress. Picture this: you're trying to learn how to play a musical instrument, but you're just not feeling it. No matter how hard you try, the notes just don't make sense. Why? Because you're not ready. So always remember, you need to be ready and eager to learn something new for the learning process to be effective. Have you noticed that the more you practice something, the better you get at it? This is explained by the law of practice. Let's break this down in simpler terms. Imagine you're learning to play a musical instrument, say, the guitar. At first, your fingers might fumble on the strings and the sound might be a bit off, but as you keep practicing, you'll notice that your fingers are finding the right strings more easily, and the music is sounding much better. That's the law of practice in action. You see, every time we practice something, we're actually strengthening connections in our brain. These connections are like pathways that help us perform tasks more efficiently. So the more we use a pathway, the stronger it gets, making the task easier over time. This is why practice is so crucial to mastering any skill. It's not just about repetition, it's about strengthening these brain pathways. Remember, practice doesn't make perfect, perfect practice makes perfect. Let's talk about rewards. Do you think you learn better when you get a reward for doing something right? This is where the law of effect comes into play. The law of effect is like a game of action and reward. Imagine you're playing a game. Each time you score, you get a big, shiny gold star. That star is your reward. The more stars you gather, the better you feel, right? And you'll want to keep scoring to get more stars. This is exactly what the law of effect is all about. In simple terms, the law of effect states that if an action is followed by a pleasant reward, you're more likely to repeat that action in the future. It's a bit like training a puppy. If the puppy sits when you ask it to and you give it a treat, the puppy will want to sit again to get another treat. So positive reinforcement or rewards can really motivate us to learn and do better. So, what have we learned today? In our exploration of learning and talent development, we've traversed the intriguing landscape of connectionism, which highlights the importance of forming connections in our brains through learning. It's like building a network of knowledge, where each new piece of information is a node that can link with others, creating a robust and interconnected web of understanding. We also delved into the Law of Readiness, which underscores the simple but profound idea that our minds need to be primed and ready to absorb new knowledge. It's akin to preparing the soil before planting a seed. Next, we examined the law of practice and its emphasis on repetition and consistency. Just like mastering a musical instrument or a sport, practice is key in the realm of learning. Finally, we looked at the law of effect, reminding us that rewards can be a powerful motivator in the learning process. Remember these laws next time you're learning something new, and see how much more effective your learning becomes.